Hey YouTube, Kira Twig here, bringing you guys my Insect Queen Weevil Yu-Gi-Oh! Deck profile for March 2018. I didn't actually know what exactly to call this deck because it is just a mishmash of different insect types, including all the new support from Ancient Millennium, Perfectly Ultimate Great Moth, Insect Queen, basically all the insects that I'm pretty sure Weevil used up to, when we see him all in the series. But it's a really fun deck. When I had to compare it to how consistent it was, I would say it's a little less consistent than the Barrel Dragon deck, but when you get the plays off, it's still a very, very fun deck to do, especially with the new Insect Queen, which is a lot better than the one we already had before her. But let's go ahead and get started with the deck profile. So to start off, running 3 of the Metamorphosed Insect Queen. Now her attack is obviously better than the original, and it cannot be normal summoned or set. It must be special summoned by a card effect. If another insect monster on the field is on the field, your opponent cannot target insect monsters you control with card effects. Also, they cannot be destroyed by your opponent's card effects. At the end of the damage step, if this card attack, you contribute 1 monster. This card can attack an opponent's monster again in a row, and once per turn during the end phase, you can special summon 1 monster token. So all in all, this card is way better than the Insect Queen, just because we don't have her limitations. The only thing is she, has to be special summoned by an effect, which is very easy to do with this deck, since that's what basically all the spell and monster effects play out to do, which she is your main monster because as the queen, she protects all the other smaller insects on the field. So, and a lot of them have effects that they have to be destroyed by battle to get off effects. So having to hit them for that kind of effect works out in the end basically with her. Definitely what the deck needed. Same with 3 Parasite Paranoid. With this card, it's a quick effect. You can target 1 face-up monster on the field. Equip this card from your hand to that target. The equipped monster becomes an insect-type monster and basically cannot attack insect monsters. Also, its effect that activate by targeting an insect monster are negated. You can only use the effect of Parasite Paranoid once per turn. If this equipped card is sent to the graveyard, you can special summon 1 level 7 or higher insect monster from your hand, ignoring the summoning conditions. So it works very well with the Ultra Cocoon of Evolution, which I think is what they kind of wanted you to do, more than go for the original Cocoon of Evolution play with Larva Moth. That play would once take 5 turns, just be too hard to set up. This is more generic, so I think what they did basically was perfect all of Weevil's cards, including the Parasite and the original Insect Queen, with cards that seem more, practical and playable with these monsters. But like I said, way better, but definite 3 ofs in the deck to help out. And for other insects, I run 3 Gokapon. I don't actually think we will ever run this card. Too cute for his deck. But when this card is destroyed as a result of battle and sent to the graveyard, you add 1 insect-type monster with an attack of 1500 or less from your deck to your hand. So you can basically search out, Paranoid to get work with its effect. Some of the other insects we run as well. All in all, good search to grab what you need for the situation. And I also run 2 Danny Pon. With this one, I was actually going back and forth between the numbers between Danny Pon and Gokapon, but 3 and 2 is what I found to be the best, basically. But you can try both. Honestly, there's plenty of low attack to benefit from this monster as a whole. But with this one, when it's destroyed by battle and sent to the graveyard, add 1 insect type with 1000 defense or less from your deck to your hand. So, like I said, a little more leeway with the Gokapon, but all in all, having this and Danny Pon in the deck obviously help with the numbers of searching, basically. Same with Resonance Insect. With this one, if this card is sent from the field to the graveyard, you can add 1 level 5 or higher insect from your deck to your hand. If this card is banished, you can send 1 insect-type monster from your deck to the graveyard, except for Resonant Insect. So mostly with this, I search out the big Insect Queen to use with the Parasite from the hand special effect. But the Banish effect also works well with Aztectipede, the Worm Warrior. For easy Field Swarm with 1900 attack, it cannot be normal summon or set. This card cannot be special summoned except by removing from play 1 insect-type monster from your graveyard. When this card inflicts battle damage to your opponent, you send the top card of their deck to the graveyard. So once again, easy 1900 attack point monster to place on the field. I might run 2 of this. If I were, I'd probably take out the Pinch Hopper, which I do like Pinch Hopper just as the one of. It's a grab search. It's a special summon from the hand. Another easy grab from the hand for cards that of the insect type, obviously. But back and forth, like I said, to work with the resident insect. So might bump it up to 2. If you don't have this and you want to try 2 Pinch Hopper, you can try that as well. It's basically a back and forth between these 2 cards. And it has to run in the deck 1 Perfectly Ultimate Great Moth for the Cocoon of Ultra Evolution plays, since it gets around ignoring the summoning conditions. So you can get out your big card in the deck with it. Heavy Beater, that's all it is basically. But with every Weevil deck, you have to run it. And an engine I actually grew quite fond of to run, just to help, is the 3 Ninja Grandmaster Hanzo, the only non-insect monster we run in the deck. Try to keep it as pure as possible, but Hanzo definitely helps searching out for the ninjutsu art of transformation, and then being able to use that effect to special summon your Insect Queen as well. Since I said she is the main monster in the deck, so you need to get her out as fast as possible. And Hanzo searching for that trap is a very good turn 1 setup. That's it for the monsters. We will move on to spells. Main spell is Cocoon of Ultra Evolution, a bumped up version of the original one and made into a spell, so a lot more practical in the deck than the monster version. You tribute 1 insect from either side of the field, equipped with an equip card. And basically, if you do special summon 1 insect monster from your deck, ignoring its summoning conditions during your main phase, you can banish this card from your graveyard, target 1 insect monster in your graveyard, shuffle it into the deck, then draw 1 card. You can use this effect of Cocoon of Ultra Evolution once per turn. Like I said, this card makes the deck so much for the different plays you can do, the power it has, the quick play power, the equip with the parasite monster you run, searching it out with Danipone, Gokapone, getting your search off, the reshuffle for draw. It's too good. You have so many options with this card. The fact they made a quick play too means, you know, you choose the option of when you want to play it and get your big monster out. And I also run 3 Verdant Sanctuary. With this card, it's a continuous spell card. When a face-up insect-type monster is destroyed and sent to the graveyard, its controller can add 1 insect-type monster with the same level as the destroyed monster from the deck to your hand. Now, the majority of the ones we run are either 4 or 2, so you have that back and forth option with Verdant Sanctuary as to what you want to grab. So whatever you need, you'll be sure to have a search off of this card. And also 1 Soul Charge. With the buildup of insects in your graveyard, Soul Charge can definitely come in handy just to reswarm the field and either use it for link summon plays or if you want, you know, for other uses of their effects basically with this card. Same with the Monster Reborn. And I run the Dark Hole. If you have the Regeki, once again, the Regeki is just in another deck at the moment. You swap it out for it, just as good of a substitute. And I also run 2 Potted Desires, mostly because for draw help, you don't run 1-ofs, or if you do, not ones that are too essential for the deck. You run a lot of 3-ofs. Like I said, if you banish cards like the Perfectly Ultimate Great Moth or like the Pinch Helper, you're still okay because you have your 3-ofs, which are these ones, which are the main important ones in the deck because they are your main key play ones. So hoping to get into those with the Desires doesn't hurt too much. And with enough search, the 1-upstart as well to finish up the spell lineup. If you didn't want to run the Desire and you wanted to try something else, I was kind of testing out the Twin Twister play as well, in which you can ditch the insects to the graveyard for reuse with cards like Aztec Pede and stuff like that. If you want to be a little more back row protective, you can try swapping them out for those as well if you wish. And that's it for spells. Moving on to traps. I'm trying 1 Corrosive Scales just to see how the card works as a whole in the deck. You target an insect monster you control, equip this card to it. While you control the equipped monster, your opponent's monsters cannot attack insect monsters except the equipped monster. While this card is equipped to a monster, each time your opponent normal or special summons a monster or activates a card effect, place 1 scale counter on a face-up monster they control, and each monster your opponent control lose 100 attack for each scale. Now with Perfectly Ultimate Great Moth, very funny when I can get this off, just because they have to swing into it and either take a heavy damage or, you know, play around that play. It's just a little fun tech that I like to try out in the deck. And for the Hanzo, the 2 Ninjutsu Art of Transformation. You tribute a face-up ninja, special summon 1 beast, wing beast, or insect, in this case monster, with a level less than or equal to the level of the tributed card plus 3 from your hand or deck. When this card leaves the field, destroy that monster. So with Hanzo, get out the Insect Queen, since her only limitation is she has to be special summoned by a card effect. Very easy for the Hanzo play. Like I said, it's a 1 card go off of with Hanzo and then giving you the Insect Queen. So very good. And then 2 back to the fronts. Once again, just easy special summon for your lower ones. And putting them in defense protects you since they don't have the highest attack either. And then 1 Bottomless Trap Hole, 1 Torrential, 1 Solemn Judgment, and 1 Warning. If you wanted to throw in the Strike Brigade, I was trying out the Tribute and the Bottomless just as a better option in my opinion in the deck. You can try 2 strikes as well, but once again that lineup is player preference mostly. And then for the extra deck, we go pretty much generic because there's not too many generic insect cards. Most of them are Earth, so Decode Talker and Borreload and Proxy are pretty generic links that I like to run the deck just for the easy lineup. But they are Earths, like I was stating a second ago, so Mrs. Radiant definitely does help, especially with the add-back effect for the Earth monsters as well. If you're stuck with 2 weak ones on the field, you can use the Mrs. Radiant, or you can try out Binary Sorceress, or Akashic, or Underclock. Just having these link summon options in the deck definitely help. And with some of the other rank 2 plays, Herald of Pure Light, Gachi Gachi Gantetsu, and Phantom Knight's Cursed Javelin also come in handy a lot. And then for some of the bigger ones, I have Abyss Dweller and Castel, just for some rank 4 options. And if I had Dracosac, I would take out the Gaia Dragon for that, and the Big Eye, just for the rank 7 plays. It doesn't happen as often, but like I said, better to have the option and not, need it and not have it. But that is it for the deck profile. I hope you all enjoyed the video. Once again, please don't forget to leave a like and subscribe. And until next time, Kira Twig out.